In this video, we are going to talk about how to close the model by using JavaScript, not by using this button. It seems a very simple problem. However, if you look at the Stack Overflow, you will see there are a lot of people do not find any solutions on these problems. We all know that in the documentation, you can close the model by using a button, since we add the model close class here. So when you click on this button, you can close the model. However, sometimes we want to do some checking first. For example, if we type some username, if longer than 5, we do not want to submit. But if this is shorter than 5, then you can submit and then close by using JavaScript, not by clicking on any buttons. So let's back to the coding. First, we are going to create the index.html. And then we create a simple template. Since we are going to use the Materializecss, so we go to get this and then paste to our web page. Then we go to the model and we grab this button, paste inside the body, and also get this model and paste inside our body. And then we need to create a folder called JS, and inside the JS we create the UI.js. And since we need to initialize the model, so we have to copy this script and then paste inside the UI.js. And we do not have any options, so we can delete this. And under the body, we go to add the script of UI.js, so script source, and then JS UI.js. So now when you go to the web page and click on the model, you see the models pop up, and when you click on these agree buttons, it will close. Now we are going to create a form inside our models. So we have a form, and we also have input, and the name is username, and we also have a button, and which is submit. And then we also change this to username. Now when you click on this, you can see there is a place that we can type in some username. And under the button, we also want to create a paragraph which have a class equal to error. And if there is error, we will put inside this paragraph. And next, we are going to create the app.js. And inside the app.js, we are going to get the form. So constant form is equal to document.querySelector. And since we are going to get the form inside the model, so we are going to use model.form. I should set .modelForm. Now we can get the form. Now we can add the listener for the form if there is submit. Then we have to use the event.preventDefault. So we need to go to the index, and after the UI.js, we go to add the source, the script source of app.js. And why we need to add this is because if we try to comment this one and go to our website and click on the model, and when you type something and click submit, the default behavior will close the model. However, we do not want this happen. So we need to add this to prevent the default behavior. And when you click on the model, and when we type something and click submit, it's still here. So now we are going to get the username, and since the form has the name of username, we can get the value by using form.username dot value, and now we can try to console.log the username. And if we click on the model and type the username and click submit, and now you can see the username displayed in the console. So now we are going to do some checking. Now we can say if the username dot length is greater than 5, then we will go to grab this error paragraph and put the error inside here. So we back to the app.js and we use form.querySelector and then dot error dot text content is equal to the length of username should be less than or equal to 5, else we will close the model. So we have form.reset to reset the form, so the input field will clear. But the problem is the solution suggested in the website, even inside the documentation, they use these two types of models. So now first we go to get the model. In order to get the model, we can let the values of model 1 and document.querySelector. And since we use the default name model 1, the ID is model 1, so inside here we use the ID model 1. And then if we use the suggested method, so now we can use model 1 and try to close the model. Maybe we can also copy this method, and we will demonstrate this next. So now if we type some username and click submit, you can see the error pop up here, and we can add some style, and the color is red. So when we type some username, there is error. However, if we type some username less than 5 characters and click submit, you can see there is not a method which is close model. So this cannot solve the problem. And the next method they suggest is using model1.model and close. Now we try again. This also not the correct answer. And at last, we have to use var instance equal to m.model.getInstance, and then put the model 1 that we let it here, and then we use instance.close. Now we can try again, and if we put the value of Alan and click submit, now this time it can close after checking. And if we type something longer than 5, we can still get the error here. So this is how to solve this problem.